Another way of adding in your animals or even applying records in AgriWebb can be through your live sessions, and these are done on your mobile by the use of an EID scanner in your yards. Now, a list of all the EID scanners that we support will be included at the end of the course, so have a look out for that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our mobile app and we're going to make sure we've got livestock selected at the very bottom toolbar there. And what we'll see is a page that looks a little bit like this. So before we go about starting live sessions and going through that process, we're going to have a look at record templates. So we'll tap on record templates here. Now, what these are is a selection of records that mimic what you would do day to day. So, for example, in a cattle induction, you would typically be adding them into the system. You might be doing a weight record for them and possibly even some vaccinations or treatments. So, what a template will do is it'll take those 3 records and it'll group them together into the one template for you. So, when you are in the yards, there's no need to fiddle around with your phone and it'll just go through the process of adding in those records without the need to do them one at a time. So we can see here a few examples of templates that we may have on farm, and we can go through and create a new one by hitting that Create New Template button at the very bottom. We're going to choose our species, and we're going to go through and put in a name for this one. So I'm just going to put in a cattle induction as an example here. And we can put in further description for this particular template as well if we choose. Otherwise, at the very bottom there, we'll see the option to add in steps. So clicking on that one, we'll see a full list of all the different record options that we have for this particular template. So we can choose to add animals, as they are going to be new animals on the farm. We can also go through the process of adding in a weigh record, and maybe even a castrate, a pregnancy scan, whatever it is you want to do for this particular option. So we'll do a pregnancy scan in this example. Once we're happy with that one, we can choose to run the live session straight away, or we can save it down by hitting that green button in the bottom right. And now we'll see here that cattle induction is one of the templates that we have available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of that one and come back to our main page here. So we're just going to hit that Start Live Session button at the very top left. What we'll see here is we can choose once again between our species. And then we're going to get our 2 options here, so quick records and your templates. So your quick records are your one-off records. So if all you're doing is a weigh record, if all you're doing is a treatment record, you can just do this one and follow through this process. Otherwise, if you're going to be doing a template or you're going to be applying multiple records at one given time, you can make use of your templates here. So as you can see, we can select from our templates previously made, or we can create a new one at this step as well. What I'm going to do is just going to hit cattle induction, and we're going to make use of this template today. So we can see at the top there exactly what this template entails. We can go through and select the date on farm that we want these animals to be inducted. And what we're going to go through now is and start setting the defaults for this particular record or live session. So as the animals run through the race or the crush, AgriWebb's going to automatically assume all these defaults are true. Now, once you're in the session, you can go through and adjust these. That's not a problem at all, but setting them up to suit the default at the very beginning is quite important. So in this case, we're going to choose a breed. We're going to say these cattle are Angus. Majority of them are female, and majority of them have a date of birth of this time last year. We can then go through and put in any tags we want to associate with those animals. So if we're tagging them on farm with our own visual identification, we can choose to either A, not have any visual tags attached, or we can go through and choose a few of these. So as you can see, sequential tags, so you can start off at tag number 1 and it'll automatically count up as each animal is scanned into the crush there. You can manually associate tags with each of those, and you can also use automatic if you've got RFID tags in the ears of those animals. We can also associate management tags as well as tag types to them as well. Your age assessment. So this one here we can see is the pregnancy scan part of this particular template. So this is going to be the default for this one. Now we get a choice when it comes to pregnancy scanning whether we want to record fetal age. In this case, I'm not going to record fetal age. Hardware. So at this step, we can actually go through and connect our hardware. The cue the animal steps, this one is automatically switched off. So as it says there, what will happen is it'll keep the animal on the screen if it has incorrect records. If it happens to run through the race and another animal gets scanned, that original animal will remain on that page there and the other animal will get cued behind it. So you can go through at your own pace and make sure those records have been entered in correctly. Final ones here are your drafting options. So if you're going to be putting in animals or splitting them out into multiple different paddocks according to certain characteristics, you can go through here and add in drafting options. So for example, I want to split them out to aerodrome or alpine. we can go through and switch between those two drafting options as the animals come through the crush. And that final one there is the management group option. So this is why it's important to have those management groups in early on if that's something you're going to be using for your operation. And that means you can go through and associate those at the very beginning. Once you're happy with that one, you can start the session and start scanning those animals through. And what will happen then is it'll come up with your screen indicating the animal's details, and you can go through and fill those out as you go.